interactive forum attended by economists, policy analysts, captains of industry, and chief executives of leading Nigerian companies. Participants critically reviewed the federal government's reforms, assessing them through three key lenses. 1. Are these the right reforms? 2. Are they delivering the desired results? And 3. Have adequate steps been taken to ensure their sustainability?
In answering that first question, are these the right reforms? The answer would be yes. Are the reforms yielding the right results? I think the answer would be yes and no. Maybe for the investment community and for the business community, the answer might be yes. But clearly, for the general population, the answer one invariably hears is no. In answering that question, have we done enough to make the reforms sustainable? My answer would be no. I think we need to do more.
In response, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, represented by a special advisor in the ministry, asked Nigerians to be patient, promising frequent communication and engagement.
Lifting millions out of poverty whilst navigating the global uncertainties that we're facing today, it's not easy. The global rules are shifting. The fundamentals are in a much better position today than they have been for quite a while. The early results, they're visible. But sustaining progress is a deliberate choice. It requires unity amongst us. It requires patience, but we recognize that we need to paint the picture for you to know what you're being patient about. We can't be short-termist in our approach. No resilient, sustainable economy was built by a short-term approach.
To accelerate the impact on the citizens and achieve inclusive growth, participants made the following recommendations.
There's security, which remains a concern, no matter what business or sector you speak to.
Ultimately, it's going to benefit the consumer on the streets, but it's always a lag effect. When structural reform happens, there's always a lag effect, and I think the consumer needs to be a lot more patient to see that reform actually trickle down to the bottom.
You look at minimum wage of 70,000 naira, add depreciation, add inflation, the real value of the 70,000 naira is about maybe 42,000 naira. So these are the dynamics that must shift. But for this dynamic to shift, three things must happen. One, expansive investment, led by private sector-led investments, supported by incentives from government to open up sectors that private capital can go into. Number two is government spending. We must see fiscal spending grow. You must grow your exports, especially your non-oil export earnings, so that your revenue model of the country grows. That's how GDP growth rate of 7% is possible.
Although early signs of economic growth are visible, the success of these reforms ultimately depends on their consistent consolidation. By implementing these policies that vigorously support production and stimulate consumer spending, the government can turn the promise of reforms to recovery into a lived reality for Nigerians. In Lagos, for News Central, I am Perpetua Fasanmi-Peter.